Artists are some of the weirdest people you will ever meet. But there is one thing you have to give us credit for: discipline. The simple practice of having a daily routine is something that many of the world's top artists accredit their success to. And so I have created a scientific experiment to determine the best routine for artists based on those recorded from some of the most successful creatives to have ever lived. Because we all know the struggle of feeling like you're not creating enough, or that there is so much you need to do, but you don't know how to do it or where to start because you don't know how to structure your life so that you have time and space to do it. And then you end up not doing anything. And then you end up making a YouTube video, forcing yourself to make stuff. So stick around to the end of this video because we will be going through the highs and lows, the peaks and the valleys to determine how to live like an artist. Before we get on to the experiment, we actually need to create it. What is the optimal routine for an artist? My primary form of research was reading Daily Rituals Women at Work, and it showcases the routines of some of the most creative and successful women to have ever lived. We're going to be setting it up into 3 different routines. The full day routine. I am going to spend 12 hours non-stop creating, and we're going to see how productive I am during those 12 hours. The realistic schedule. In this routine, we're going to span these 12 hours over a week in between all of my day-to-day obligations. But the third one is definitely a lot more eccentric, the non-routine. In this one, it is basically whenever I am inspired, I will create. That's it. I'm gonna ask you, what do you think is going to be the best one? Enough talking, we actually need to get started with routine number 1. I hate to interrupt so early on into the video, but I just have to come out and say that this first day of the experiment, I did not actually end up recording that much, and I also didn't end up doing that much. I'm gonna be so honest, it sucked. It only sucked because that day I just could not focus. The most I got out of that day was about like 4 hours of creating, and then the other hours I can't even really count much because a lot of it was just me either lying on the floor, staring into the abyss, or just getting distracted. So I think it's clear to say that this routine is just not for me. I guess it's for people who are able to get into the zone and stay into the zone a lot more easily. Even if I was some profesh artist, I don't see myself sitting and painting for 12 hours straight. It's a bit of a shaky start, but we'll see how it ends up going for the next ones. Even though it's evening time and the lighting is not the greatest right now, it is sunset, or the sun is setting, I can still paint the underpainting now because I'm not really looking at the colors. The main thing I'm worried about in poor lighting or artificial lighting is I can't see the colors properly. But okay, so it is 3:15 and I'm gonna have lunch now, so it's already late. I also have to leave the house around 6:30. Today is actually quite busy. I don't know why I chose today to not. Though so far nothing has been touched and it is 3:50. I bought a cheap really big frame from an antique store and I'm going to paint over that canvas. I prepped it yesterday, but I don't think I'm going to start with painting today. Max I'm gonna get today is an hour, which is not boding well. If I need to do 12 hours in 7 days, that means I need to have more than 1 hour per day.
step away from your shadow, dear. The sun will rise again for a new day.
I'll show you better tomorrow.
Breakfast with eggs, it's insane. How ambiguous.
It quickly dawned on me how hard this part of the experiment would be. Not just because of the lack of time, but also because of the lack of energy I had overall. At the end of a long day, it was hard to want to switch back into working gear, even if it is for my passion. And it wasn't long before the structure of this routine began to crack.
We made a prettier little mess of it all. It's crazy, I know.
I started this Wednesday, so 3 days ago. I ain't gonna hold you, I did nothing. It's been an incredibly busy week. I will do stuff in the evening, but I can't guarantee I'm gonna do that much because I'm tired. I did 1 hour 20 minutes on Wednesday, so I have 4 days left, and I still need to fit in 10 hours and 40 minutes of work, which doesn't seem like a lot. It's a bit hard to fit in, but we'll see. I'm so tired. Like, what's that? It was at this point I knew I needed help, because there was certainly something that was missing from this experiment. And so, I reached out to a good friend and fellow artist. This is my friend.
Hi, I'm Zako. How do I describe my work? Mixed media sculpture. I'm very interested in how people's environment influences how they experience life. I've been interested in this maybe for the longest time, but I think it got more serious in adversity. I think I like the research phase before starting for some odd reason. I don't feel that pressured once it doesn't exist, so I can go in many different directions. I can change my mind on things, because the second I start, that kind of limits the multiple directions this artwork could go into. Researching could just be looking at collecting different materials. I like collecting magazines, watching films, doing lighting studies. I'm a planner.
You're a planner.
I'm a planner, but things don't go to plan. You need to want to do something. I'm not saying wake up at 3 and take over the world. You need to want to do it. You need to commit to it. What is a routine, man?
Yeah.
Do I think it's important to have a routine? It doesn't have to be super rigid, but I think it's important to have some kind of outline of a routine, and then maybe you can be flexible about certain details. Because I feel if it's too rigid, at some point you're I'm going insane, I can't do this. It's tricky because I think I'm still very much excited about my practice. So I do wonder maybe over time if I lose interest for some reason. I think that's when discipline will truly come in. I think discipline is about 30%, and then the rest of it is probably excitement and interest. Sometimes the same thing. Curiosity, that's a big one. You just have to be brave in a lot of ways. It's not easy. All those 3 things, 4 things.
That's important.
Together.
Today is Monday. Over the weekend, I have been reorganizing my stuff, and it dawned on me how many hobbies I have/had. I found my knitting needles, sculpture tool, all of these little things made me feel like I just wanted to have fun again. So today we're gonna create. I was thinking of going outside because it is such a sunny, beautiful day, but because there's a lot of light coming into my room, I think I might just continue working in my room. Can't tell you yet exactly what I'm actually working on because it's a bit of a surprise, but you will find out soon-ish. Yeah, so I have a lot of stuff to do today. We'll just see how much I end up doing. I didn't really set out a duration, but right now it's in the afternoon, so I'm hoping for a good couple of hours, maybe 4 is pushing it. I'm just gonna stick with 2 hours for now. It's been 3.5 hours. Well, 3 hours, 35 minutes. It is 35 past 6, and I'm stopping here because I am tired. It was fun, but now I feel annoyed, so I'm gonna pack up before it drains me even more. Yeah, still a good day spent. Enjoyable. I will say it was enjoyable for a couple hours. Now I need to pack up. We're nearing the end of a failed experiment, but I can't exactly say that I'm either surprised or upset. I really wanted to go through this experiment and come out with something profound to say, but not much has changed with my routine. I still went for long periods of time without making art, and the only thing that truly changed was my mindset. To be honest, I don't think that's enough for me yet. Well, at least I can truthfully say in this moment, by creating whenever I'm inspired, I'm guaranteed to be pretty much happy every single time I make art. Not saying that I recommend this routine, but just saying I think it's what I needed right now to remind myself of what I do and why I do it.
Make waves in the sky, stick my tongue out, draw a line in the sand just because I can.
The one thing that really stuck out to me when I spoke with my friend is excitement, and I feel like that's something that I have been lacking, and that is something that has just not been existent in this experiment, which is why it failed. I can't believe I didn't even think about it when I created this whole thing. Genuinely was just thinking about like doing the most I can, but it wasn't ever really about being excited to do the most I could. I know it's so easy to look at the past with rose-tinted glasses, but definitely during the times in high school, at least, when I would create a lot was when I was the most excited to. But nowadays, just having that initial excitement is really hard to come by, just because, you know, when you're preoccupied with other stuff and when life is just lifing, you know? With that in mind, I realized that I was trying to solve a problem without knowing the root cause of the problem. Because the root cause of the problem is just that I don't have excitement to create, or that curiosity that makes me want to create. It's not so much about the frequency, it's just that like even when I have time, I still don't. My question that I needed to answer was not, you know, what is the best frequency at which you create, or like how productive can you be, but it's more so like how can I get back to enjoying what I like doing. It's actually completely fine that I don't create 24/7 because it's just not my goal, but that doesn't inhibit me from being an artist, you know what I mean? I don't know. There is no answer to this video. I'm sorry if this is an anticlimactic ending. The question to how to live like an artist is whatever suits you. That's not an answer I can give in this video. If you are someone who is an artist but you don't create frequently or consistently as much as you want to, it's okay. It's just with the season. Maybe it does require you having some parts of discipline, but other times it's just, you know, I'm not really in the camp of forcing it so much that you end up hating it. Art isn't just about what you create. So if this isn't the ending of the video you thought it was gonna be, I'm sorry, but I hope you at least took something from it. But anyway, I'm gonna leave you here and say thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, like. If you like me, subscribe, comment down below, all that fun jazz. Thank you so much for 17,000 subscribers, and until then.